slosh the fuel in the tank around to get it over near the fuel pickup. So if we see her doing that at some point, she may know a lot about how to keep a vehicle going that is running out of gas. I thought I saw that, but that might have been a false alarm.
And Dave, you were saying that vehicles like this have two fuel tanks often, right? And she would have to switch over to the secondary tank if she started to get low on the first one, and she might not know how to do that.
Well, they can. I don't know that this one does, but sometimes they'll have dual fuel tanks, and when you're briefed on the vehicle, when you go to the rental place, they'll tell you, here's one tank, here's another tank, and there's usually a toggle switch, fairly well marked. If it does, in fact, have those, she may not know how to switch it over, but I think at this point, if she's got one large fuel tank, or if it does have dual tanks, she's figured out how to switch it over, because I don't think she would have gone very far on one tank. If it had dual tanks, each tank would only be good for about 20 gallons. So I'm guessing.
And
that,
Bill, all right, Bill. Now she's really. This is very strange. If she's knows what she's doing and is trying to slosh the fuel around and keep this thing going, then that's what it appears to be happening here. But man, this you're talking about this big vehicle and veering around like this. What are we seeing here? What's ahead of her?
Yeah, very bizarre control inputs. You'll see her moving left to right, weaving in and out of lanes. They're actually staying in her lane, but she's adding some very bizarre control movements to the steering wheel. And why is anybody's guess? This is Los Angeles Street or Los Angeles Avenue at Santa Clara Avenue in Oxnard. Now, we're indicating about 75 miles per hour on the helicopter. On a canyon road this narrow, only 2 lanes. This is the wrong time and the wrong speed to be driving like that. Whatever her reason is, coming up on a big intersection in just a second here. We've got CHP officers just behind her. I can also see that Ventura County Sheriff's helicopter right on top of that suspect. She'll make left turns and right turns trying to elude everybody. Looks like a wrong side of the street there. That's Santa Clara Avenue. It looks like she'll be northbound on Santa Clara Avenue. There have been some discussions this afternoon about spike strips or stop sticks. If they've been implemented, we can't tell. Looks like the tires are still fully inflated, and why she's controlling the vehicle that way, really unclear right now. But looks like she's going slower and slower, fortunately, from about 60, maybe 70 miles per hour down to about 15, maybe 20 miles per hour. There is that possibility. This has been going on now for well over 2 hours. It's possible she's running out of gas, doing all she can to keep that engine running. When that engine runs, she's going to lose her power brakes. She'll lose her power steering if that truck has it as well, and it'll be extremely difficult to maneuver. I can tell you there's some traffic here. They're all very aware of what's going on. They see that Grand Theft Auto suspect. They see what she's up to, and they see those police officers right behind her. Now she's coming to a complete stop. Police officers on their loudspeakers going to give her very specific instructions with regard to what they want her to do, and they'll try to keep that passenger traffic away. Out of the car, making a run for it. Looks like she'll run down Santa Clara. She might try to carjack somebody, get inside somebody's car. Good maneuver. They kept running. Now there's a CHP officer right behind her. In just a second, he'll jump on her and tackle her. And there she goes down to the ground. Other police officers, they're right behind her. They'll get her in cuffs in just a matter of seconds. And although you can't see it, 2 police officers right on top of that Grand Theft Auto suspect. A number of other police officers, so they'll be coming in any second now. There's a police dog as well, and there's nowhere for that suspect to go. So fortunately, after more than 2 hours, a Grand Theft Auto suspect out of the Antelope Valley wound her way into Ventura County here in Oxnard. And finally, this has come to an end. That one suspect has been handcuffed, taken into custody. And fortunately, this nightmare of a pursuit for CHP officers and county sheriff's deputies has finally come to an end, and apparently no serious injuries.
Wow.
Reporting live from Air 7 HD, I'm Bill Thomas.
Charges, an attempt, either carjacking or an attempt auto theft, because of the fact that she tried to get into that other person's car. Another reason for all of us to remember while we're driving down the road to keep our doors locked, because we've just seen that just about anything can happen in Southern California. She gave a run for it. She made a run for it, but obviously was no match for the pursuing California Highway Patrol officers who've now taken her into custody. They're not going to have to check that vehicle as well. They're going to have to check that U-Haul truck and see what, if anything, she may have been carrying in it, and really, after they continue this investigation, try to figure out what prompted all of this in the first place. It is really something, though, Michelle, to have seen the way this thing ended.
She was really determined to make a getaway there, as the vehicle she was driving so erratically, making it go back and forth for the last few minutes there. Maybe it was because the vehicle was running out of fuel, and then came to a stop and made a run for it, and fortunately it wasn't able to get into that vehicle that she ran up to. Either they had the doors locked, or she just decided at the last minute to keep running.
Clearly somebody who knew a little something about this vehicle, too, and was able to drive it. I'd be very interested to find out the background of this individual, to know enough about doing that back and forth maneuver to keep the fuel sloshing, as Dave Kuhn said, to get gas flowing to the intake there.
Where's the van?
And she ran off pretty
got
fast too. I'd be curious to see what sort of background
Trace,
this
go to the
person
van,
might have.
if you could find it.
To have that sort of knowledge and be able to move
There you
that
go.
way. So we may never know.
Rear
at
is
this
clear.
point, but they have checked out the back of the truck
And a medium shot of the whole scene,
looks
now, if we
empty.
could.
Yeah. And so this police pursuit has come to an end in the Oxnard area. No one has been hurt, and the suspect is now in custody. We will have more on this story coming up tonight.